Look, we watch these things, folks, because it's the way the world is going in terms of our own. You can blame the corporations all day, and many of you no doubt do, but it's up to us in terms of our choices, what we buy or don't buy. Latest figures here from the Department of Transport have showed that the electric car fleet in Northern Ireland grew by 1,000 cars in the third quarter of last year. So that's significant. I have the figures for Derry here as well. I'll just get them in a wee second. Well, the co-founder of the Electric Vehicle Association Northern Ireland, which is a non-profit community interest company, is Mark McCall. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Not too bad at all. Mark, that is significant. It's not 2 or 3. That's 1,000 and a quarter. And that's only probably going to go up, right?
Yes, things are certainly taking off, Mark. For a while, I guess people wondered whether this was a transition that was really going to happen. But I think that the December figures for the UK in general were 26% of all new car sales were full battery electric. That's not hybrids, that's full battery electric cars. Wow. More than 1 in 4 cars. So it's really, it's a one-way street at this point. It's one direction of travel. So it's just how quickly we get there now. Plug-in
fleet, you're reporting, I'm just stealing your figures with your permission, Mark. The increase of 1,000, what we're talking about here. Belfast obviously has had 324 vehicles. Derry, Strabane, 47. Not great, but there's only, the chargers up here, there's only I don't even think we've got 10 chargers around the place yet. Oh man, look, I know I'm preaching to converted. I just put my head in my hands here and go, where is the damn urgency on the part of the legislators, Well,
I think you've hit the nail on the head on the urgency. I think what we would say is, as an organisation, we started 5 years ago, and we are now starting to at last see some movement. Things are never as fast as we want. I think we're all very frustrated at the speed of things. Local government, it's like wading through treacle here at the moment. But at least we can see 3 live projects now in Northern Ireland that are going to make a big difference.
Give us the 3. Give us the 3 if you don't mind.
Months. Yeah, sure. We've got the Faster project, which is some EU money and some DFI money, which is going to bring around 24 new rapid chargers. We've got
24, not 24,000, man.
Well, when you consider we've got 17 in the whole of Northern Ireland at the minute, that's significant. We've got another 50 to 70 new rapid chargers coming from EasyGo. And then ESB, who run the whole public network here at the moment, have committed to replace everything, including to build 5 new rapid charger hubs.
So we're looking at just remind us, your own motor, how many miles do you get out of a charge, urban, in your day and daily?
So, Nissan Leaf, around 100 miles.
Oh, not great, man. And how much to charge your battery fully to get those 100 miles?
You say not great there, but the average. There was a survey that the Faster project did, and people's average journey was 13 miles a day. And yet they wanted a car that did 240 miles. So
yeah, but you would need to pop up to Belfast the odd time or down to Dublin, as we say here.
You do, and that's where the infrastructure comes in, and that's the missing link.
How much for your 100 mile?
Well, I'll give you a year's figures because it's quite startling. If you can charge at home, which not everyone can do, and get on an economy 7 rate, even with the recent increases, you can still get 11 or 12p overnight. So for an entire year's motoring, 8,000 miles, you're talking about 275 quid.
So hold on, just keep it simple. For your 100, for a single charge, Mark, in your head, how much are you spending?
Now you're giving me miles on air.
I'm hoping it's like £3. You know what I mean?
It's very little. You're doing roughly 3 miles per kilowatt hour, and a kilowatt hour costs you, say, around 11p at night. So you're talking 2 or 3p.
So you're saying there, Dave's just on the back of the envelope, £5 a week, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that's great. Absolutely. I was looking at scooters. A friend of mine got a wee scooter, and he says, "Look, they're great for the good weather. Slip around in the wet as you would with 2 wheels." But again, reach 75 kilometres. It's good. It's good for if you're living and working in the town. But again, man, it's I don't know.
That's an important point you make. And DFI and all governments around the world are looking at public transport and active travel and all these things. But we've got to remember, Northern Ireland, the population density here is about half that of GB. About 36% or 39% live rurally. So those are important points, and we need to have this charging infrastructure.
Yeah. I was just noting Alex Thompson, esteemed Channel 4 reporter. It doesn't make it true, but he's reporting today about that, within a couple of years, he's saying that the hydrogen and the gas infrastructure will become very, very, very prominent. I should have had that under my fingertips here, but I don't. But basically, I'm interested. Are you watching the hydrogen debate?
Hydrogen has an important part to play in our energy transition, but it's not going to play a part in private vehicles. We don't think that. I think that boat is sealed now.
But why is that? Because petrol is highly combustible. I mean, you crash or have a really bad crash here, arguably your petrol is going to explode. I mean, similarly with hydrogen, obviously, but is that the only reason or what?
No, there are those disadvantages that you mentioned, but it's really around the energy efficiency. You're using 3 or 4 times more energy. You're far safer taking the energy from the windmills and putting them straight into your battery electric car. Than doing electrolysis and compression and transportation.
But your vehicle spends hydrogen and gives out water. What's not to like, man?
Well, if your vehicle is running on sunshine or on wind, there's not much to dislike there either.
Yeah, but we're not going to have sunshine vehicles, are we?
Oh, we are. I mean, Northern Ireland's already 50% renewable energy here, and we've got targets just released in the new energy strategy for 70% by 2030. So your car's literally...
and I watched this. I went solar myself late last year, and I'm loving it for the crack as much as anything. But that's all well and good, but not for a wet Wednesday in February.
No, but with plenty of wind, and we haven't even started to tap our offshore wind here, so we've got a great renewable energy future ahead of us.
There you go. Renewables today and live. The Northern Ireland grid, Mark, I have it here in real time from SONI. Renewables, guess, as we speak, on the grid.
Depends on the wind, if it's a windy day or not.
Guess.
20%?
24%, coal 11%, 60% gas. Oh man, that's a head wrecker. And that's Putin and these Hallions that control this stuff, and we're all held kind of to ransom. We need to get away past gas and coal and oil. Of course we do.
I think our last coal plant is due to turn off next year.
Right.
Gas is lower carbon.
Where's that? Is that Ballylumford?
I think it's Ballylumford.
Right.
I'm not honestly sure, but we've got one left, and it switches off next year, Sony tell us. So
that's worth watching.
That's going to make a change.
Right, Mark, in a word, are you encouraged? Are you broadly encouraged the direction of transport here? I mean, a handful of chargers, a revolution does not make.
Yeah. The two big things in the horizon for us are getting the prices down, that initial cost, and getting the infrastructure right. But I think, as I said at the start, there's one direction of travel here now. It's a one-way street, and it's just how fast we can get there.
And admit, but again, I must challenge you, because to go, in a word if you can, Mark, to do what you're doing means, buy these vehicles, but that's more consumption. Surely our efforts are best spent if we get public transport right. You go to these modern countries, and it's a dream to travel on their transport, because it gets you there so quickly, so efficiently, and you're not sitting in a blooming traffic jam on the A6 for 20 minutes,
It is, but I don't think you can compare Portadown to Paris. We need to be realistic as well, and we need to remember this rural aspect of our population as well. So, yes, let's take public transport, and goodness knows that needs lots of investment. Well, but I think the car is always going to be pretty important in this country.
That's the quote of the day. You can't compare Portadown to Paris. That is a truism, and I say that even my ma's in Portadown. So, but I think even she would agree with you. Mark, thank you for that, and we'll keep our dialogue going as the year unfolds. It's going Mark's way, folks. There's no doubt about that. Latest figures from Northern Ireland just out. 1,000 new plugins in the last 90 days, Q3. That's the latest quarterly report. Mark McCall there from the Electric Vehicle Association, NI.